Chris Rosser did a great interview with Chris Thompson, two Chris's. Chris Thompson's the lead. I think he's the lead Betaflight dev. Do you think that's right, Plenty?
Yeah, I'm not sure. I believe so, but I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm. And basically, I actually listened to this. Well, you can see how far I got. I haven't quite finished it, but I have actually listened to almost this whole interview because when Chris Thompson sits down to talk with Chris Rosser for an hour and a half about what's new in Betaflight 4.3, I feel like that's something I want to take in. So thank you to Chris, both Chris's, for sitting down to do this, and just a great discussion about the new stuff that's coming in 4.3. But of course, there's lots of videos to sort of do that in a more concise way. But just to really get into Chris Thompson's head about what they were thinking and doing with 4.3.
Yeah, this is definitely a much more in the weeds kind of stuff. So
very. Yeah. ZFPV says Chris is knowledge first and only learned coding in the last couple of years. If he's not a dev, is he the project manager? Like, he's very influential in the Betaflight project. So if he's not right to call him a dev, I'm not sure what it is right to call him. I guess that's neither here nor there. Anyway, kudos to them, and definitely worth a watch. Did you watch that interview?
Absolutely. Yeah, it was good.
Anything particularly took from it? It is. I mean, I love the weeds.
Sure. No, I mean, it's all good. It's just a lot of information we knew about, like how all the back end works and what they've been doing for the last year and a half. Like, because obviously they haven't been doing nothing. So.
Yeah. No, I thought they'd been doing nothing, just making us wait for 2 years for no reason. No. Yeah, a lot of focus on the PID loop and on feed forward and RC input smoothing and really getting that stuff to work. I was happy to hear that they acknowledged that there were some issues with, not that they had ever denied it, but like I thought that dynamic idle, I tried it, I made a video about it, I found it to introduce more problems than it solved, and there were unclear instructions on how to implement it, even from the devs. And I was like, well, clearly this is a little half-baked. And Chris Thompson says as much, which is always nice to hear that I was right about something. But that they've improved it all in 4.3, so I'm very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, it sounds like, just a lot of what they talk about is like learning stuff they didn't know. I don't know. He talks about how, like, we thought we knew how a notch filter worked and we had no clue because there's this like anti-filter thing that happens. There's like a response, so you get this weird rebounding if you filter when you don't need it. So when we're having fast movements, the dynamic notch can't keep up, and they made a bunch of changes to like help with that. There's just a lot of that stuff where, you know, they're making changes they didn't realize they needed to make to fix a lot of issues that were like kind of ingrained in the systems.
Yeah, and the promise is that Betaflight 4.3 will fly better on defaults and be easier to tune with wider tuning latitude. That has been the goal of like every version of Betaflight ever. So we like famously Betaflight 4.1 made a lot of changes and was really fiddly to tune. 4.2 seems to have improved it somewhat, but it is still, you know, well, with all the people who are flying 4.3 nightly builds, I suppose it's really not, we don't have to speculate too much about how good it is. That it seems like it's pretty good. And doesn't seem to have a lot of like weird quirks and problems like 4.1, for example, did.
I also wonder how many people, though, that are flying 4.3 have gone in and like set their presets for their radio link and have done some of the changes that you need to do to make 4.3's benefits show to you. You know,
if only someone would make a video about that.
Yeah.
All right. Cool.